Hello and welcome to Complete with DLC, the only show getting re-recorded because Brad's a dum-dum. I'm that dum-dum Brad Knight. Sitting across from me is the smart person, Jacob Griffin. Jacob, how you doing today? Or
Doing
tonight,
good with
as I should say.
my genius brain because I'm a genius.
Yeah. I'm not happy, Jacob.
I figured.
It is almost 9 o'clock at night here. We're recording an episode that should have been released 5 hours ago because I'm an idiot.
Yes, you're. I mean, I even put it in the tweet like Brad done goofed.
Yeah, I done goofed because I'm a dum-dum. For those of you mildly curious, I accidentally left my speakers on at a very low volume, so I couldn't hear it with my headphones on. But Jacob's audio was coming through those speakers and being picked up by my mic again.
Exactly.
So,
It was much like the Vincent Riley Lost episode.
yeah, that has now lost the annals of time. But you did win that QuickTime question, though, so.
I did. So let that be known for the fan who's creating our wiki right now.
Yeah, Jacob has one more in the win category.
And who knows, maybe I can get another one tonight.
Yeah, maybe. I have a feeling you'll get this one right. But before we get onto that, we got a few things to do first. One of them is what are we playing? Alright, Jacob, why don't you tell me what you're playing this week?
I've been playing a lot of PC games, Brad.
Oh yeah, you're part of that PC Master Race now.
Yeah, no, I finally ascended to the next level. That's pretty great. PC gaming is very fun. So I played a bunch of random games to test out my computer, one of them being Doom, because I wanted to play the new Doom, and I wanted to see if my computer could handle it. And my computer, turns out, can handle it pretty well. I had to bump everything down to very high, but I get like 55 to 60 FPS on it, so...
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm getting a good frame rates, I'm getting the good graphics, everything looks great.
Nice and purty.
Exactly. Another game, unsurprisingly, that I bought on PC was Grand Theft Auto 5.
For the third time.
For the third time, the third $60 purchase of Grand Theft Auto
You've
5.
spent $180 buying that game alone.
Not even counting the shark cards I bought.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus! I think I've spent like $200 on shark cards.
You have spent almost $400 on GTA between purchasing the game and shark cards. That is phenomenal.
I mean, you can say that about like a lot of people who play like free-to-play games like that enjoy it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like League and Dota. I'm sure a lot of people are spending like hundreds of dollars in that. CS:GO.
Do not remind me about my numerous payments to League of Legends.
Exactly.
It's a dark part of my past.
So I think if you find a game that you like, you tend to want to stick with it, and
Yeah.
That's me with GTA. So I feel like if this game keeps coming out on every platform that comes out in the future, I'll just end up buying the newest version of it. So it's running really good. It's running at 60 FPS. I've got everything pretty much on high. Some texture stuff I had to turn down a little bit, and some grass stuff. Like
Grass always gets you.
yeah, it's a lot of stuff that seems to be related to the open world that screws like my frames per second, because like, I'm still getting like above 30 either way, but like I just wanted it to be a smooth 60.
Yeah.
So turned down some stuff on that.
And really, does every blade of grass need to have a special wiggle to it? I don't think so.
I mean, it might though. Like I was debating on it. I was like 30 FPS, but I get the nicest possible grass,
With how much I spend face down in that game, it might be worth it for me.
But yeah, so I mainly bought that because I wanted to do modding, because mods in GTA look awesome from every video I've ever seen of them. And so there are some specific mods I wanted to play, one being LSPDFR, which is their police mod. So basically, instead of being a criminal, you become a cop, and you can do traffic stops and answer calls like a domestic disturbance and do all that. Domestic, I only said that because that seems to be the call that I get the most.
Is domestic disturbance?
Yes, and most of the time it's like not even really a domestic disturbance. It's like my cat ran away. That's literally a call I got the other day. Some dude was like, my cat Fluffles ran away, and I had to go find the cat.
Your cat ran away because you named him Fluffles.
And then you know what too is the worst about it is that I had to then, because I found the cat, I had to walk the cat back there, but I couldn't just pick up the cat because it's GTA. There's no animation of people picking up the animals. So I had to walk back, wait for the cat to walk a little bit more and catch up with me, and then walk some more. And then eventually I got to the dude's yard, and there was like a fence there that I couldn't get past because it was like a fence that didn't have a gate in it. So I had to then make sure Fluffles was out of the way and then drive my car through his fence.
All right, Fluffles, please stand aside.
Exactly. but yeah, so I'm still learning modding though. I've gotten a lot of mods. I've noticed that with GTA specifically, I don't know about every other game because I haven't modded anything else, but like there's either like the super easy mods or the really hard mods. Like most of them are like, oh, just copy and paste this into the GTA game directory, and then the other ones are like, well, now you need to get Open 4, and you need to go in there. You got to make a mod folder. You got to go into the patch notes, and then you got to.
Yeah.
It's like ridiculous. Like because I wanted to add like police cars to the game, like California Highway Patrol and other stuff like that, and just trying to do that was incredibly difficult, and I didn't like enjoy it that much. Just trying to figure it out, and then when I tried to go play the game, it didn't work. So I was just like, whatever, I'll try this again another day. But,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's really difficult. Just because PC gaming is, in terms of modding, is different from how we very recently got modding on consoles. That's very like drag and drop, and you work with a set of tools that you're given. Whereas PC is as in depth as you want to make it, right?
yeah. And it's one of those things where I think it needs to get put where the vehicle models are, whereas like with the other stuff, it's mostly like scripts that I'm adding to the game, where it's like stuff where I can like spawn whatever I want in or whatever.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, there's that. So I've been doing that, and I'm getting better so at modding. So who knows? In weeks, maybe I'll be like, I made my own mod. I created an infinite galaxy of Grand Theft Auto. No man's auto.
It's procedurally generated. Although
Every
the fish
blade
are
of-
spawning in a weird way. We haven't figured that out yet.
Every blade of glass, every blade of glass, every blade of grass procedural.
Yeah.
Other than that, today I started playing Firewatch. Remember I talked about this game a while ago?
Yeah.
I think I talked about it as being like one of the games I was like excited for 2016 in our New Year show, like from back in the day. If anyone's been around that long,
Yeah. That was a while ago.
yeah. So I finally got it because I don't know why. I think I just was just like, oh, I need games to play on my PC because all I really have is Grand Theft Auto and Doom. So I need something else. I want to broaden my horizon. So I downloaded Firewatch today, and it's really fun. It's got a kind of a cool story to it. Like it's definitely like a lot more depressing than I expected it to be.
It's the game where you're the dude in the forest with the walkie-talkie, right?
Yes, and you're talking to the other person in the forest who
Yeah.
also has a walkie-talkie. Their banter back and forth, I think, is really good. There's a lot of weird happenings that are going on. You're like in a national forest, something like that, and you're just you're taking a job for the summer because something happens with your life, and you're just like, I need to get away. And so
Need a breather.
exactly. So then you take this job where you're just in the middle of the woods for the whole summer. And the banter between the two main characters is really good. Like this is one part where like you're trying to get back to your watchtower, and you climb up and you see a dude with like a flashlight up on a hill, and he's like talking to her on the radio. He's like, "There's a person up there," and she goes, "Oh, Henry, there's something I need to tell you. I don't know if anyone told you yet, but we're outside." She goes, "People can come and go as they please. It's just madness, really." Like it reminded me of something that we would talk about back and forth.
That is almost verbatim a response you would give me.
Exactly. It's but it's really funny. It made me laugh out loud. So I've only finished like the first day. I don't know how many days there are on the game, so I'll keep you posted on that. But I've only finished the first day, and I'm enjoying it so far. So I want to see where that story goes. But other than that, I haven't really played anything else. So Brad, what have you been playing?
So I tried out that the Games of Gold that just came out a few days ago. Ultimate Warriors Orochi 3, or any combination of those three words. I don't remember what order they go in.
I think it's Warrior Ultimate Orochi 3 or something.
Yeah, whatever that one is. It's a Dynasty Warriors game, and I have no experience with 1 or 2, so I don't know if this third one has any bearing on those two or what's going on. I have no idea what's going on in the story, but it's a lot of fun. I'm having a blast with it. It's the first time I've actually owned a Dynasty Warriors game. Up to this point, I've only been able to play it at, friends' houses or, when I borrow the game or whatever, but it's just a blast. I don't think there's any, series of games on the planet that make you feel just as powerful as a Dynasty Warriors game, or at least a good one.
Yeah.
It is just, although it is in all Japanese, which I was expecting, but...
No, really? I figured that those were, dubbed for the US. I had no clue that they were actually just in Japanese.
Nope, most of the, at least from my experience, most of the Dynasty Warriors games are in Japanese. That includes the licensed ones, like the One Piece ones are all in all with the subbed voices. But It's not too big a deal with me. Just I had it on, I had the music and the volume and everything on for the first time I played it, but once I realized I wasn't missing anything, I just turned it off, so I'd be reading the subtitles regardless.
I mean, I guess, I've never noticed because, like, the only one I really actually put time into was the Zelda one. And I've played the Gundam one, but it was only, like, sparingly at someone else's house. But, like, the only one I've actually really put, like, a lot of time into, which was also at someone's house, was the Zelda one. And Link doesn't talk anyway, so.
Yeah. It'd be weird if he finally spoke and it was in Japanese. I
Oh,
feel like,
yeah, no.
I don't know why I feel like that would be weird, but I feel like it doesn't fit his just character.
No, definitely not.
Yeah. He would sound really gruff too, I feel like. He'd be like a really deep voiced Link.
That's what I've always thought would be the problem, though, if they ever made a Zelda movie, was that, like, if you have Link talk, that feels like a real betrayal of the character.
Yeah, and I feel like if Hollywood were to do it, they would go the Sonic route with it and make him like that sort of snarky, like, not quite man, not quite kid, like teenager, like they did with Sonic.
They do it like they did the Zelda animated series.
There was an animated series?
Yes, back in the 80s. Remember, have you ever seen clips of, like, the Super Mario Brothers Super Show and stuff?
Yeah.
So around that time, they also did a Legend of Zelda series where he talked like this, and he was like, "Well, excuse me, princess." And so, yeah, so that's how he talks. So basically what you're describing is exactly the way he would sound.
That sounds awful, and I'm sorry that exists. I wish I was wrong. I want to take it back now. But that's really what I've sunk the most amount of time into. It was a lot of fun, and I'll definitely be putting more time into that. But other than that, an update came out for Overwatch, where it's the Summer Games update now for Rio, which is probably going a lot better than the actual Olympics, but...
You played Lucio Ball yet?
Yeah, I did play Lucio Ball, and oddly enough, I'm enjoying it more than the actual Rocket League that it's based on, mostly because I am better at it than Rocket League.
Well, yeah, I guess that would mean that you would enjoy it more, obviously. You know what I mean?
It's just complete chaos. Like, it's really weird. So those of you who don't know what it is, Lucio Ball, which is... Every week there's a different brawl in Overwatch, which is a bunch of random rules, and they change it up week to week to keep everything fun. And this week, because it was the Summer Games one, was Lucio Ball, where it's 3 Lucios against 3 Lucios, and a soccer ball in the middle. Literally just like Rocket League. Even the arena looks identical. And the goal is to score a goal, like you would in Rocket League. And you use Lucio's, like, wave and his, like, punch, and you have to knock the ball around and knock the players around, and it's just... I don't think there's any strategy to it whatsoever, but, I mean, I've had decent success.
Yeah, I haven't played Rocket League in a long time.
I am just awful at it, so I want nothing to do with it.
I feel like every time I'm going to go back to Rocket League now, because my car has always been set to the Batmobile from Batman v Superman, that I feel like I'm just going to go back and just not want to play Rocket League immediately.
It'll just remind you of that movie.
Did you get my text last night?
No, I did not.
You didn't respond to it. I finally got around to watching the ultimate cut of that movie.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
And when it got to the fight with Batman and Superman, I was like, oh, thank God, this is almost done. And then I looked at the timer and realized there was still an hour left. And I was like, what the hell is still going on for an hour in this? We just had the fight. And I was like, oh, that's right, Doomsday happens.
Yeah.
I completely forgot that he was in this movie. Because there's no reason for him. But also, too, that movie has, like, no action at all.
No, it's the fight with Batman and Superman, if you can call it that. It's more of a scuffle.
That Batmobile scene.
And then it's like the 15 minutes of screen time Doomsday gets, if it's even that.
And then there's that awesome scene with Batman, though, when he goes into the warehouse.
Oh, yeah, right.
That scene's awesome.
But in total, it's like, what, half hour of action scenes for a 3-hour movie?
Probably, yeah. The rest of it's just talking and, like, being like, oh, Superman's terrible. Superman's great. Superman's an alien. Superman's the devil.
Yeah. I'm a congresswoman. I'm here too.
Bruce Wayne meets Clark Kent. Oh, I hated him this time.
Yeah, he's not my favorite guy in the movie, but...
Here's the weird thing about it. The first time I saw it, I was like, I like this Lex Luthor. It's interesting. Then the second time I saw it, I was like, this Lex Luthor is... I don't like him towards the beginning, but I like him more towards the end. This one, I just hated him. This viewing... I was like, your plan makes no sense, mate.
I think it was just your disgust with the movie as a whole was rubbing off on him.
Yeah, I don't know. It makes me nervous for Suicide Squad now because, like, I drank the Kool-Aid back in the day where I was like, Batman v Superman was a good movie, and then, like, I can only because now that it's getting like around the same reviews as Batman v Superman, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, I heard a lot of the issue with Suicide Squad was like post-production editing. Like it feels like a lot of stuff got cut, especially from like the Joker.
Apparently, too, he only from a story I read today, he only had 6 weeks to write the script.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, so because they were fast tracking it because they needed it to be out the summer or the same summer as Batman v Superman. So
That's insane. Like I don't.
yeah.
I couldn't imagine writing a script in 6 weeks. That'd blow me out of the water.
Then also too, the original trailer, the tone of that was going to be the tone of the movie that he was trying to make, and then they did a test screening where Warner Brothers made like a fun, lighter version of it, and then they showed his version, and the Warner Brothers version tested better, and so then they went with that, and that's what the reshoots were apparently, just to add more jokes and stuff, and which they said wasn't that, but clearly it is.
Yeah, it's just that they didn't want to say it was.
Yeah.
But what are you gonna do? You have to withhold judgment till we see it ourselves. But Jacob, we're not here to talk about movies. We're here to talk
Wish
about
we
video
were.
games. Yeah. We could do more than a podcast's worth of movie discussions, at least in comic book movies.
Yes.
But I think it's time we get into the news. Alright, Jacob, so the first bit of news I have for you here tonight, is not a great one. You're familiar with Outlast, right? You're a fan of the franchise?
Yeah, I can't wait for that second one. Hope it doesn't get delayed.
Oh, wait, it's delayed.
Oh, jeez,
Yeah.
my arm just almost caught the chair.
Yeah. Please don't break your chair while we're recording.
About to break my arm.
Yeah. So, Outlast 2, which was originally slated for sometime this fall, has been delayed to the first quarter of 2017, which is a reasonable delay, but, we don't know when the first quarter it's expected to be, but I would guess probably towards the end. They announced this via Facebook update saying, "We want you to know that we listen to your feedback, we see your excitement, and we know you care about our work. Our mission as an indie studio is to deliver to you the best, most terrifying, most fulfilling experience possible. That's why we're taking just a little bit more time to make sure our vision for Outlast 2 is in no way compromised and is the experience you deserve." So, they're doing it for the right reasons, and I think they gave a reasonable amount of notice to it. Like, it wasn't like 2 weeks before the game was supposed to ship that they delayed it, so...
Yeah, like a little space exploration game.
Yeah, like a certain sky that I've heard is
Yeah.
gathering some hype.
No Man's,
Yeah,
if you will.
should find out who owns that sky. But anyway,
Sean Murray.
I think at this point he wants to sell it. I feel so bad for that man.
He's got such a bashful smile.
I feel like he's just tired of the world. Like he's had to deal with so much of the last couple months.
He's got a beard like this now.
Yeah. His beard's the size of my head. But what's not the size of my head is this Xbox Summer Update, which frustrated...
Oh, we didn't even give our opinion on Outlast 2.
Oh. Did we?
No, we did. I made the joke, I hope it doesn't get delayed, but...
Oh, well, I mean, I think where it's safe to say both of us are not very happy to hear about its delay, but I think it'll be a better game because of it.
Yeah, that's how I always feel with these delays. Like, it sucks because, like, I want to play the game as soon as possible, but, like... I mean, if it's going to be a bad game, if it, comes out at a certain date, then if it came out at another one, I'm fine with it.
I think horror games specifically benefit the most from these kind of delays because a bad horror game is really bad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, almost the only thing you pull away from horror games are the experience, right? Like, the feeling it gives you. And if that's not there, then it's a bad game. Whereas at least with, like, an RPG or, any of the other genres, like shooting mechanics and FPSs, there's things you can pull away from it that still make it a good game, but... the horror is all that horror games have.
Not exactly the same sort of thing, because it's not going for the same kind of thing, but, like, the Friday the 13th game is supposed to come out in October this year, and I hope, it seems like that game is coming together, like, super quickly, that I hope that, like, if they need to take a delay, they will. You know what I mean?
But they're in a tough spot because they're one of those Kickstarter games, and we've seen that Kickstarter guys do not like to delay their game if at all possible.
No, because they've promised a date to these people.
And, when you have the actual community backing your game, you get a much bigger outlash when you do something they don't like.
Yeah, plus their community, while they seem like good people, at least from what I've seen through their interactions on Twitter and stuff, they seem like the kind of people that will turn if there's, like, any sort of unpositive news coming out about it.
Oh, I'm sure they will. That's the nature of the internet.
Imagine if No Man's Sky was a Kickstarter game.
Oh my god, I wouldn't even want to think of what would happen. The internet would have imploded more than it already did.
They would call for Sean Murray's blood in the streets.
Yeah, there would be riots. Except nobody would go outside because we're all, the stereotypical closet introvert that nobody wants to go. We would never meet for the riot. We'd all just say, "Yeah, we're gonna riot," and then one guy would show up.
No, they'll all be outside playing Pokemon Go. They'll forget about the riot.
Yeah. Listen, guys, we could riot, but there's a Drowsy over there, and I don't have a Drowsy yet.
Well, there's a Mewtwo in the park.
Yeah,
Sean Murray will have to wait.
Yeah. That's actually how you get Mewtwo in Pokemon Go. You get to the center of the universe in No Man's Sky.
Exactly.
But, moving on here. The Xbox One summer update is hit. It sounds like somebody's lighting fireworks outside my window, and I'm gonna
Same thing over here. I was wondering what the hell that was.
I'm gonna punch him in the head.
At first, I thought it was my mom coming downstairs, and I was like, "Oh shit."
Yeah, I don't want to deal with fireworks. It's like not even fireworks season. What are you doing?
Yeah, well, I mean, like the week leading up to the 4th of July, and then the week after was just hell on earth.
Yeah.
So.
But I think you ran out. Okay, we're good.
Okay.
So the summer update rolled out, and now, Jacob, it brought you Cortana, because that's what you really wanted.
God, not working parties or anything.
Yeah, it brought you Cortana, background music, neither of which are functional, so it's great. It's awesome. If you have a Kinect, I say unplug it immediately, or Cortana will not shut up.
One thing about Xbox. Well, do you have anything more to read, or are you all set?
It's nothing important. It's just talking about Cortana and the new UI, which is something that frustrates the living hell out of me. Because every time there's an update, I'm like, okay, fine, I'll get used to it. Takes me a few months, I get used to the new overlay, and then they change it again. Somebody at Microsoft's trying to screw with me.
So you know how Windows 10 has that Xbox integration in it and stuff?
Yeah.
So you can like basically do everything that you can do on an Xbox on Windows 10 now. So I've been playing around with it and stuff. Like I signed in with my Windows account and everything on my new computer, and it also has like that you can be in a party on like your PC, like how you would be on Xbox, and you can join, like you can be in a party with your friends on Xbox on your PC, and that works so much better than the actual parties on Xbox One. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, I mean the party stuff on 360 wasn't great, but it was functional most of the time, and this just completely fell apart.
Here's the thing with like parties on Xbox One, right? I mean Xbox 360, is that I joined them and I was in them. On the Xbox One, for some reason, I have to leave and join a party like 50 times in order to get it to not be disconnected from party chat. It's weird. I don't get it. But then if I'm on my PC, I join once, I'm in there. And you know what? The parties are in beta on PC. Yeah. That's the sad part.
I guess they made the Xbox parties out of the same, tools they used to make the server selector in GTA 5 Online. So I always get put in an empty server, and I always get put in an empty party, so...
it's
coincidence?
Continuing on that, get this, right? Played GTA Online when I first got GTA 5 on PC, got immediately put into a full lobby. On Xbox One, I'd wait 25 minutes and then get put into a lobby by myself. Coincidence? I think not.
I got into almost a full lobby on Xbox One the other day, and immediately was killed 3 times and realized, why do I want to play in a full lobby? This is awful.
You know what's funny about that is every time I get put in a full lobby, I'll immediately leave my house in my car, and I'll drive down the street, and then everyone will disconnect.
I'm just so far behind in that game now. I don't have any reasonable amount of money or anything like that, so it's so time consuming to get back up.
What level are you in that game?
I'm 30s at best.
Oh my god, I'm 123.
Oh, 1, 2, 3, nice. You can never level up again.
No, you're right. I shouldn't even play that game anymore. Disconnect. Oh jeez, I just pulled out my headphone. I'm gonna delete it.
Yeah, and just think, you just bought it again. It's a shame you can't play it.
Exactly. Uninstall right now.
Yeah. Speaking of uninstalling, I'm about to uninstall my PlayStation VR. That doesn't make any sense. I tried to segue that, and that was awful. That was terrible. But we got some new information about PSVR and a few other snibby little details about it. One of which is very concerning to me. So, it turns out that Sony's upcoming PSVR will require about 60 square feet of cleared space to use, and asks that the player always remain seated whenever possible while playing, unless told otherwise by instructions. So it's going to use the VR headset using lights lining up with the camera. And to do that, it needs 9.8 by 6.2 feet of space, according to a sales brochure for the device. Now, I don't know about you, Jacob, but that is a very large amount of space for something that is only doing head tracking via camera.
About to tell you right now what it is.
Yeah, so according to the brochure, it says limit your use of PSVR to within the play area, clear an area larger than the play area of all obstacles before using PSVR, and remain seated whenever possible. So, that's a lot of space. And if people
Never mind, I can't tell you.
Jacob, you lied to me. I demand you right this wrong. Find out why they need 10 feet of space for a head tracking camera.
Oh, you just figured it out yourself. I was trying to figure out what it is in feet.
Oh, I said it was 9.8 by 6.2 feet.
Oh, well, I was only hearing the square foot part. I was like, what's 60 square feet in feet? I mean, here's the thing with this, right, is that we knew, I don't get, if it's only doing head tracking, this doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, like, I could get, like, even the Vive, which does the full body walking around thing, doesn't need this much space. And even that will scale to what you have.
I mean, we don't know if the PlayStation will scale to what you have. It's very possible that it will, but
I mean that could just be like a maximum
yeah.
I don't know. I feel like we're missing something. Like there's something that should have been released before this that would make this number make sense. You know what I mean?
Here's the thing with this is, did this come out of anywhere official? Like, did Sony say this, or was this just like some information that got out?
Yeah, it was a document released by Sony, and that little snippet I read was from a sales brochure for it.
Because I'm gonna say, like, that would make sense if it was something that leaked, and maybe like they leaked the maximum number. Because like this just seems like ridiculously big for something that's just tracking your head. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I could have a camera right in front of me and it could track my head properly.
Yeah, they don't need that much space. I don't know why that's.
Something tells me that might be the maximum number, and I either that or it will scale. You know what I mean? Like how the Vive does.
Yeah, they got a little diagram here that's showing like the area covered by the camera. It's weird though, because it shows it's all in meters, by the way. So the nice person who wrote the article for Polygon was nice enough to convert it to American dum-dum units, and
just measure it in dum-dum pops.
Yeah. So it has like this giant cone with a dude sitting in a chair in the middle of it, and it shows 3 meters one way and 2 meters the other way, and that's the area that it wants you to sit in. But it doesn't show anything as to why you would need that much space. And also urges you to try out the PSVR at a store or a trial event before purchasing, because if you don't like it, they don't want to hear it.
Oh, I wish I could, but the problem is that you're not bringing them around me.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, I'm not putting on a PSVR headset that 400 other people wore before me. I don't want pink eye.
I don't even have a problem with that, because like I've seen the videos and like they wipe them out before the next person uses them. So like
it'd be all sweaty and disgusting. And
I assume it's cleaned up. But my point is just like there's nowhere near us. Like the closest one is like what I think like an hour away.
Yeah, 45 minutes, an hour away at best. And it's not even Boston, which is odd.
Yeah, it's like it's in Providence, which makes sense, and then there's in Worcester.
Yeah, of all places.
Why Worcester?
Because I think it was going somewhere else. It just ended up in Worcester, and they're like, you know, we'll just do it here. Screw it.
Yeah, it was actually meant to come by a Best Buy near here, and then they had to stop in Worcester. They got a flat tire. They were like, I guess this is it.
I don't know. I want to know what piece of information we're missing that they need that much space.
Because even then, in the videos that I've seen of people using them at Best Buys, it doesn't look like it's that much space. You know, it doesn't look like there's 9 feet in between them and the camera.
Yeah, there's no Best Buy with 10 feet of space cleared out for you to use PSVR. So why do I need 10 feet?
Like I guarantee, like look up one of those videos, because there's been specific ones that I've looked up where it's like the person playing like what's the Valkyrie?
Yeah.
And he's playing in a Best Buy, and he's definitely not 10 feet away from that camera.
Yeah, I don't know. Sony, you're pulling some shenanigans on me. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
I'm also worried about playing, because I'm like super tall. I don't know. You haven't really been able to tell, because there's been no size comparison on this show with video. But
yeah, if you're watching the video version, Jacob's not a sad face for once.
Exactly.
You can see his nice Boston hat.
And like if I'm standing in my room, like I got about this much space before I touch the ceiling. So I'm worried about playing that game and standing up in a certain game, like maybe the Batman one, because the Batman one seems like you should be standing up to play it.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid of like hitting my ceiling. Like say like you have to throw a punch as Batman in that game. I'm afraid to like punch my ceiling.
Yeah, like go to throw an uppercut and you're like, you shove your fist through your ceiling.
Yeah,
That would be
I
unfortunate.
could definitely see that happening.
Oh, God.
It'll be like the Wii. Remember when the Wii came out and everyone was like throwing their remotes through televisions?
Yeah, which, that's why they say put on the wrist strap, guys. Put on your wrist straps. Even for the Vive, the little controllers that have wrist straps, put them on. You spent $700 on a piece of hardware. Wear the damn wrist strap.
I don't know if I talked about it on the show, but I took that VR test that Steam has, and I got a pretty good score. The only thing I have to upgrade is my graphics card, apparently.
Yeah, I
So
was actually surprised with how well your system did. I would have thought it would mention a CPU upgrade as well, because it's not quite comparable to what they recommend, but I guess it is. I guess their recommendation was generous.
yeah, so it seems like what they said was I could run medium VR right now, but like to get the full experience, like graphics card is the main upgrade. So I'll get like a 480 maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, there's a 460 and 470 coming out, I think later this week, so.
Are those also VR ready or whatever they've been saying for that, or is the 480 the only one?
The 470 might, but I don't know.
I think the 470 and the 460 are just sort of the newer version of like what my card is, because my card's the 380.
Yeah, they're the budget versions, so I think
Yeah.
the 460 is like $9,500. Like, it's really, really cheap.
9500s, $9,500.
95 to 100. Like, it's in that, it's like low hundreds range. And I think the 470 is like 150.
Yeah.
But anyway, we've gotten way off track.
Yes, we have.
Let us get back on track with Prey. So, Jake, you're familiar with Prey, right? The game came out in 2006.
I've never played it, but I really wanted Prey 2 to happen.
Yeah, and that was actually what your QuickTime question was on in the Lost episode,
Yes.
and you got that right. But for the news story here, the new Prey will not be like the old Prey. So you're getting Prey 2, kind of, but not anything like the original Prey. So the creative director, and actually kind of glad we're re-recording this because I get to say this guy's name again, Rafael Colantonio, which is the best name I've ever heard. He released a statement, and he's the Arcane Studios creative director. Prey is not a sequel, it's not a remake, it has no tie with the original. You have to look at it like a reimagining of the IP. So take that for what you will, whether you think it's a good thing, a bad thing, or wherever you're floating on that subject.
That's just what I assumed when it got announced.
Well, a lot of people were thinking, well, oh, look, Prey 2 got canceled in 2014, so maybe this is, this is remnants of that, which doesn't seem like that's the case. So I can see why people would think it's a sequel.
I didn't think that when it was announced because the rumors were for a long time that Arcane just took over Prey 2.
Yeah.
And they were just going to finish Prey 2, but like when we saw what that Prey game was at the Bethesda conference, it looked nothing like what Prey 2 was supposed to be, so that's when I knew it was like, oh, this must be just like sort of a reboot of Prey.
Yeah, it was I don't know. I actually I'm worried about this game just because Prey has not had a very good release history. Like, the first one was announced in 95 and didn't get released until 2006 after changing studios like 2 or 3 times. And the second one was leaked in 2011 and then was canceled, of course. But I don't know, maybe a third time's the charm. Maybe this one will actually come out when it's supposed to.
I think you have a more solid studio behind it this time, too. So you can sort of put your worries to rest on that sort of thing. Plus, isn't it supposed to come out next year or something like that?
I believe so, yeah. No,
So, yeah.
It's 2017 release.
Yeah, so, I mean, this is, I guess, technically, it's not really because it's not as close, but it's one of those Fallout situations where, make this in a vacuum and then we'll announce it when we're ready to announce it when it's close to release. I hope Red Dead does that. Imagine if Rockstar came out at, like, say, like Gamescom or whatever the next Sony press conference will be, and they're just like, hey, what's up? We're making Red Dead 3, or whatever they're going to call it, Red Dead Revolution. Let's call it that, because I just made that up. Yo, what's up? We're making Red Dead Revolution. It's coming out next week. Drop the mic. Rockstar could do that.
They could. Not a lot of companies can pull that off, but for those of you who don't know, Prey, this version anyway, is much following the spirit of the game's main inspiration, which was System Shock 2. It's going to be a first-person shooter with RPG elements and an emphasis on narrative. Colantonio also reconfirmed, I love that name, that the main character, Morgan Yu, can also be played as either male or female, because Morgan is a gender-neutral name.
I was just going to say, I love their use of unisex names.
Yes.
Because, like, that's what happens most of the time with those games like Mass Effect and stuff, where it's just, like, they're called with their last name, so like it could be anybody with the last name Shepard.
Yeah, so it doesn't really matter. Take note, Nintendo. Don't frickin' come up with things like Linkle.
Yeah, Link is a unisex name. Like, it's not like a real name.
But apparently Linkle is more feminine.
Like, if I looked at a woman and her name was Link, I would think that that's a weird name first off, but I wouldn't think that's a weird name for a woman.
Wasn't Robin Williams' daughter named
No,
after...
her name is Zelda.
Was it Zelda? I knew it
Yeah.
was someone from that franchise. I was pretty sure it wasn't Ganondorf, but I wasn't totally sure.
Yeah, because Robin Williams was like, he played a lot of video games, and like Legend of Zelda was like, I think Ocarina of Time was like his favorite game.
Yeah.
Something like that. So he was in that when they released it on the 3DS. Him and his daughter made a commercial together, and it was like the cutest thing in the world.
I saw that because he had the big Bushman beard.
Yeah,
I love that beard.
I do too. I miss Robin Williams.
Yeah, he looked like the man you would find in an old like log cabin in Alaska. Like
Yeah.
he had that just jolly face.
Yeah.
But Jacob,
He would have made a good Santa Claus if he ever played Santa Claus in a movie.
yeah, he would have been a pretty good Santa Claus. But Jacob, that's all I got for you today. So
Yeah.
all the news for tonight. I figured, it's so late, I might as well keep the show short. But I got one more segment of the show for you to do. And it's called the Quick Time Question. Alright, welcome to the Quick Time Question. And this is how it works. I just thought my audio stopped and I was going to scream. Oh my god, that would have been terrible. So the quick time question, I asked Jacob a form of video game trivia, whether that be a multiple choice question, a couple of true or false questions, a quiz, whatever it might be. I like to change it up so I don't get bored, and so Jacob doesn't get too comfortable. Jacob, this week it's going to be a true or false question about Outlast 2.
Ooh.
Yeah, ooh. And I only did one true or false question because I only had one backup, so... I was kind of strapped for resources.
Is it about Outlast or Outlast 2?
It's about Outlast 2. It's a development question.
Oh, okay.
So,
Let's do this.
You ready?
Yes.
All right. So, Red Barrel Studios. This is true or false. Red Barrel Studios announced that they were not going to make an Outlast 2 unless somebody approached them with a pilot that terrified them. Then they would go forward with the project. Because they were, to give a little background on this, they were not entirely sure if they could live up to the first game. So true or false, that was the condition for the second game, was that somebody, third party, had to come up to them and give them a pilot, or give them a promo, and they would run with it.
That sounds true. I'm going to go with true on that one.
You locking it in?
Yep.
All right, Jacob, unfortunately, you are incorrect. It's false. They did not ask anybody third party for a promo or a pilot or anything like that, but they did say that that was their goal for in-house testing, was that while making the sequel, they wanted it to terrify them.
Can I just say something? I hate you even more now because you ruined the win streak. Because
Yeah.
you just couldn't turn off the speakers.
Yeah, but my speakers are off now, Jacob, so the people will get to see it being wrong and not right, which is
Great.
unfortunate.
Great.
Yeah, maybe I can take out the audio of me just saying you're correct from the last episode, if the audience can put up with like 30 seconds of echo.
No, just have it be like, you're correct. Just like some horribly stitched in audio.
That would be awesome. I want to get a game show buzzer, so I don't have to just keep saying you are correct.
Well, that doesn't help us when we're recording this.
If I need a soundboard that you can hear.
That too. That would be like when we get a mixer. We need a soundboard.
Need them XLR mics.
Baby.
But one thing at a time, and the next thing is the spiel. So if you want to get in touch with us, you can do that at completewithdlc@gmail.com. It's going to be the best place for you to send your comments, complaints, questions, concerns, whatever you want to send our way, that's the place to do it. If you want one of us to answer you specifically, either Jacob or myself, please put our name in the body or subject line of the email. That way we can make sure the correct person answers you, and we'll sign it regardless, just so you know who answered you, and you know who you're speaking to. You know what face you're getting. I apologize for the video viewers. I just realized you're getting like this god light behind me because my camera is pointing at my lamp. So I apologize for that, but oh well. You're gonna have to
this godly look at this beard.
Yeah. If you do not want to email the show, that's fine. You can head over to Twitter to keep up with all the happenings of the show, whether the new episode is going up in the RSS feed. Like today, you would know that episodes get released late. Whether or not an episode is going up to YouTube or live streaming, whatever we're doing, Twitter's the place to find out. Jacob will keep you guys informed, I promise. Unless he doesn't, in which case I don't promise. If you don't want to follow us on Twitter, that's fine. You can get new podcast episodes whenever they come up at any of the places you get your podcasts, whether that be iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, Soundcloud, or any of the affiliates thereof. Once you're there, please use whatever review software they give you, whether that be thumbs, stars, arrows, smiley faces, and let us know what we're doing right, what we're doing wrong, where can we improve. We want to know, because Jacob and I are kind of idiots, if you haven't realized at this point. We got no idea what we're doing.
Very much idiots. I dare say we're the stupidest people I know.
The show is live streamed at twitch.tv/completewithdlc. Not every episode is live streamed, so please check Twitter to figure out when we're live streaming or if we're live streaming that particular episode. But it's at approximately 1 p.m. Eastern if we are going to live stream. The VODs of those live streams and of the videos that I record on the side, because I usually record video for these episodes, even if we don't live stream. You can find them on our YouTube channel. Check out the episode description for that YouTube link, because it's way too long for me to recite here. Jacob, if they want to get in touch with you, where can they do that?
They can get in touch with me on any sort of social media at itsjaygriff, ITSJAYGRIFF. I'm probably most active on Twitter, so that would be the best place to get in touch with me. Brad, if they want to get in touch with you, where can they do so?
If you would like to get in touch with me, you can do that on Twitter as well. I'm Calgany on Twitter, KALGNE. I am not terribly active, I don't tweet, but I do frequent it, so if you get in touch with me, I will notice you. I am like a lurker of Twitter. I don't know if that's a thing, but I mean, take it for what you will.
Looking at people on Twitter through the bushes.
Yeah. I'm like the creepy guy in all the horror movies, like the Halloween movies. You know, the awkward 17-year-old kid in a bush trying to scare the 12-year-olds. That's me on Twitter.
No, you get that dude who's like the jock, and he's like, "Well, look, the girls are changing." It was the 80s. It was a different time. That was okay then.
Yeah. 80s horror movies. I've had enough of you to last me a lifetime. But
you literally watched one sparingly when we were building my computer.
And that was enough for a lifetime. Especially that awkward, just sex scene where she was dancing to whatever that was.
It was so funny. She was like,
Yeah, she was doing some sort of weird I don't know. She looked like she was having a spasm. Quite honestly, it was kind of actually terrifying. But anyway, if you want to have an actual conversation with me, head on over to BattleNet. That's Blizzard's interactive hub for all their games, with a little instant messenger thing attached. My friend code is Brad, #1261, and once you send me the request and I accept it, let me know where you heard it, whether it be a podcast episode, a YouTube video, or any of the, and wherever you got it, let me know, so I can make a note of it, and I don't delete you, and then you can play some games with me. Maybe play me in Hearthstone, or Heroes, or, I don't know, Overwatch, or whatever. You can play Overwatch with me and Jacob. There you go. That's what you can do.
I'm getting Overwatch soon.
There you go. Soon. TM.
I'm getting No Man's Sky first.
Yes. But Jacob, I think that's everything.
That could very well be.
I think that's everything I have for you tonight. And so...
Wait, let me check my files. Yeah, that's everything.
We good?
Yep.
Okay. So on that note, that guy over there, that guy's Jacob Griffin. This guy over here, this guy's Brad Knight. And this has been Complete with DLC. And thank you for listening.
Bye, everybody.